Hey there everybody, it's Thorpian, and because of these height limit changes, I've had to redesign the semi-AFK farms that I've been using in order to be able to fit them in as low a spot as possible and to take up as little space as possible. So I've managed to kind of compact my farm designs a little bit, and I want to share with you guys how I make infinite semi-AFK farms in these super low plot sizes. I'm pretty sure I can fit every single one in like 14 plots. But I might have skipped Cocoa because I can't figure out how to do a semi-AFK Cocoa, so it's not worth my time to harvest it right now. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this first video. The first video is going to show you how to do cane, melon, and pumpkin all in one plot. Then for the next one, I'm going to do cactus, mushroom, and netherwort. And then for the last one, I'm going to do the basic carrot, potato, and wheat. Might not do them in that order. We'll see. So let's go ahead and get started. But first, if you've been playing hypixel skyblock for a while, or you've been on YouTube for a minute, take a moment, get some exercise, use that finger, and push that like button and subscribe buttons. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure to find the edges of our plot, which is going to be right. That's 2, that's 7. This is 7. And 7 and 17. Okay, so this is going to be our corner. So that is the corner of our plot. Now I like to divide my things with walls just because I like to kind of know where the edges are, but I'm just going to leave that as a block for now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to break every third dirt block. So I'm going to go ahead and do this all the way across. And then we're going to have a block at the end for our wall. Next, we're going to grab our builder's ruler and we're going to shift right click inside that one block we just made in order to make a tunnel all the way down. Now you're not going to be able to do this all the way across because your builder's ruler will be fatigued. You have two choices. You can either go to the hub, break a couple blocks in the hub, and then come back, and that will reset your builder's ruler. Or you can just go ahead and keep building the farm, and then it'll reset on its own. Or you can break these with a shovel if you're a crazy person. So go ahead and do that if that's how you want to do it. I'm going to continue building the farm, and then we'll go back and use the builder's ruler to break those some more. So we're going to go ahead and place water into all of these spots that we've already broken. And then we're going to make sure that it filled all the way in. So as I've shown you in previous videos, sometimes this doesn't fill all the way in. You don't have to fill in that gap with the mystical water bucket because as long as there is some water, the sugarcane will be happy. It can be flowing or a source block. I, however, like to make things look good. To be honest, you won't even see this water, so that might just be a little bit of OCD talking, but that's okay. So we're going to make sure these are all filled in. And we're going to check if our builder's wand is happy yet. It's not. So, sorry, builder's ruler. So then what we're going to do is we are going to fill up our builder's ruler with slabs. You can use any kind of slab you want. I like dark oak. And then we're going to go ahead and cover all of these with a slab. So the easiest way to do that is to right click on that block in front of the water. And there we have it. Now let's make sure that we can finish it. Oh, goody. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with this section, exactly the same way we did it before. Okay, now we've gone ahead and finished that particular portion of the setup. I am going to add the walls, and these walls are going to need to be only tall enough for the sugarcane farm itself, and I'll tell you why later. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and I actually did one extra. So now these walls are going to be exactly 3 high for now. So 1, 2. All right. Now we have our walls, and now we have the base of our farm. So next up, we're going to grab an infinite dirt wand and place it into our builder's ruler. Now remember, you don't have to build a sugarcane farm this way, but if you are going to build the farm that I suggest, I do recommend that you do build it this way. And we're just going to make sure that we have this lined up properly. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to place it there. All right, I got it this time, I promise. So we're going to go ahead and put a dirt block and put a line of dirt all the way across. You don't need to do the last one because you are going to be farming this row here and then it will be done. In fact, you could probably squeeze in one more of these if you were to get rid of the walls, but I like to have my farms in nice contained units. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to break this just for my own purposes. And then we're going to start making trapdoors. Now the easiest way to make trapdoors, I will show you in exactly 4 blocks. 2, 3, 4. Okay, all right. So let's talk about the easiest way to make trapdoors. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to go into the bazaar and find any wood that is reasonably cheap. So most of the time, birch is going to be your cheapest option, and I would just recommend filling your inventory with birch and then filling your foraging sack with birch. And then you are going to grab 1, 2, 3 stacks at a time. You're going to turn those 3 stacks into planks. Then you're going to turn those 12 stacks of planks into 4 stacks of trapdoors. So you can use more than 3 depending on how much inventory space you have, but you should use a multiple of 3 because that will allow you to most conveniently set up your trapdoor numbers. So now that we have a bunch of trapdoors, we're going to go ahead and place them all the way along. So the way that you're going to place them is you're just going to walk along here and shift click. And I like to do it on the top of the block. It really doesn't matter if you do top or bottom. But yeah, so you're just going to place them all the way along the top here. And it's going to be exactly a stack and a half for each row. And then you're going to go ahead and fly along and close them all. Now you can do this by walking if you would like to make it a little easier on yourself. You click very, very fast while walking. That's the theoretical fastest way of doing this. But not everybody likes to put that much effort in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place these on all of the rest of these rows. All right, I went ahead and placed all of those, and now we're going to grab our builder's ruler, and we're going to shift right click all of that dirt and get rid of it. Done. Had to break out the block zapper because I got fatigued, or rather my builder's ruler got fatigued. All right, so this brings us basically to the end of the sugarcane farm. So next up, we're going to expand our sugarcane farm upwards by adding a pumpkin and a melon farm. Now, I looked at all the farms and the best ways to combine them, and I think that this is the kind of the best pairing that you can get, the sugarcane with the melon and the pumpkin, because it fits perfectly in a 10 block high thing and will allow you to have 3 infinite farms in a 5x1, and they fit kind of perfectly. So let's go ahead and expand our wall upwards. And we're outside the area. Then we're going to go ahead and grab the infinite dirt wand. Next, we're going to count up 3 blocks to make sure we're at the right height. So 1, 2, 3. So we can build here. But in order to be able to build there easily, we're actually going to place dirt all the way across. Now that we've gone ahead and placed our guiding dirt, We're gonna grab our infinite dirt wand, we're gonna grab this builder's ruler, and we're gonna place 3 dirt here. This is just gonna be a barrier because we're not actually going to use these 3 rows, unfortunately. If you really wanted to, you could get rid of this wall and then use it as a 4th one, but you have to make sure that this plot is lining up appropriately. So I didn't really do that, but you can if you want. And then we're gonna take a space and place 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you'll notice that these will line up perfectly with these. So you will place a space for water every 1 to 3rd one. So you're going to place dirt all the way across, like that, all the way to the end. So we did 8 dirt, 1 water all the way across. And now we're going to go ahead and extend this wall upwards as well. So unfortunately, now that we've added our wall, the next step is a little bit more involved because in order to fit these farms perfectly, we actually have to use a half slab on this top block, and we cannot use a builder's ruler on a half slab top block. It only works on a half slab bottom block. So we will have to manually place these all the way across. Fortunately, there's only about 8 of these because we only have to do it, 12 of these because we have to do it every 8th block. So I'm going to go ahead and place all of those. Next up, we're going to take our Prisma pumps and place water on top of all of our half slabs, and then check it to make sure that it goes all the way down as well. And correct it for those situations where it doesn't. You don't need to fill this part in, but I like to. Now that we've placed our water, we're going to go ahead and place a block on top of these water sources. And you can choose any block you want. The angle of your melon or pumpkin axe when you're farming should not break this block. But if you're like me and you may accidentally swing your mouse around, you should be sure to place a stone related block so you can't break it as quickly. Now I like diorite, so I'm going to fill my builder's ruler with polished diorite and make sure I have a platform on which to place this block and just place polished diorite all the way across. Gone ahead and placed the polished diorite all the way across, and next up we're going to go ahead and place glowstone all the way across on top of our diorite. So we're just going to go ahead and place glowstone all the way across the farm on the diorite. Now that we've placed glowstone and diorite all the way across the farm, we're going to grab our hoe of greatest tilling and hoe in the pattern that we're going to plant our pumpkin or melon seeds. So I went ahead and added this guy just because I felt like it would be a waste not to. Next, we're going to add the half blocks that are going to allow this to be a semi-AFK farm. So I'm going to go to my inventory, I'm going to grab stone slabs. I'm going to put those stone slabs into my builder's ruler. And then I'm going to go ahead, and I know I want to be leaning this way, so we're going to put them on this block right here. So we're going to put 1 block that way, and then slabs on top. You can also go ahead and do it 2 blocks there in order to not have to re-hoe that 1 block. So 2 blocks and stone slabs all the way across. Okay, now that we're done with the stone slabs, we're going to go ahead and break down all our bonus blocks here. Although this isn't strictly necessary because they are outside the plot, so therefore they won't copy if you copy and paste that preset. So we're going to leave the rest of them. You have this choice. All right, and that's it for the pumpkin and melon farm. All you have to do is plant it, but don't plant it until you've copied and pasted it. Now, in order to maximize our usage of space, the next step is going to be to place a second one of this farm directly above this. So the first one will be melon or pumpkin, and the next one will be the opposite, whichever one you don't have. So in order to do that, we're going to follow the exact same steps that we did for the first farm. It is going to be a little bit easier because we don't have to place this half slab here, because we already have a block on which to place our water. So what we're going to go ahead and do is to build up 2 blocks here, put an infinite dirt wand, and then go ahead and place dirt in the exact pattern we had before. So 3 or 4 blocks, depending on how you want to do it, and then 8 blocks across with a space for water. Now that we've gone ahead and finished this second other farm by following the exact same instructions as the last one, you'll notice we have a lot of these leftover blocks. That's fine because they're outside of the plot. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the desk, we're going to configure plots, we're going to click the plot that we're working on, and we're going to go ahead and save this preset as cane, melon, pumpkin. Or if you want to be fun like me, we're going to do it as super farm 1. So now that we've saved the preset, I'm going to go ahead and go to my plots and copy it across to all of the other presets in the row. And you'll see we went ahead and fixed those extra blocks real quick. Now that I've gone ahead and pasted this super farm 1, or this 3-step farm, across as many plots as I would want to, in my case that's 5 because I want it to go as far as possible, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make the turns for this farm in order to make it semi-AFK. So I'm going to show you how to do the turns for one side. For the other side, it's exactly the same. You just then do the opposite. The first thing you're going to do is get rid of everything in the last 2 rows. On the ground floor, that is. Now that you've gotten rid of everything in the last 2 rows, you're going to go ahead and break this last half slab as well, just in case you didn't do it before. So now that we've broken all of these last 2 blocks, except you don't have to break this half slab, I went ahead and went to the other end of the farm. So you want to make sure that you're doing this from the right direction. So you want the one that's facing towards the trap doors. So like slab and then trap door. You want to start from this end because this is the end you have to start from in order to be able to successfully harvest the farm in a semi-AFK manner. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be bidirectional. So our first row is going to be this one. So our second row is going to be the first one where we need to make our turn for. And to do that, you're going to do half slab, block, half slab, half slab, half slab. Okay, so same thing over here, half slab, block, half slab, half slab, half slab. Except you're going to go ahead and do that correctly, which is 2 over. So not right here, despite what I'm showing you. You're going to do that here. And then the next one over. Half slab block, half slab, half slab, half slab. And you're going to go ahead and do that all the way across. And for our last one, what we're going to do is we're actually going to replace this. I'm going to break this guy and this guy. We're going to have this one be an upwards one. And then we're going to go ahead and put a TP pad here. And we're going to call this TP pad cane farm end. In order to finish up this farm, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, but in the opposite direction. So if you follow your first one down, so you follow this one down, and then you're going to make it on this end. So exact same thing on the other side. I won't show you how to do it in order to save time, but the exact same idea. And then you're going to go ahead and place 2 blocks to make a wall, and you're done. Now I would recommend breaking a little hole in this wall to have the start point of your farm so you can get in. might be important. And then you're just going to go ahead and plant your cane. You're going to have to plant from both sides. And that's it. You can also plant your cane before doing the ends. That can make it a little bit easier. It's up to you. I actually probably would prefer to do it that way, but you guys can do it however you want. And then I'll show you how this works. You're just going to hold D and then S. And the same thing on the other end, D and then S. And you can semi-AFK this farm as much as you want. Now the sugarcane farm is, you need about 3 plots worth of this one layer for it to be infinite. So you can choose what to do with the other 2 plots, or you can just have an extra large sugarcane farm like I do. Let's talk about how we're going to do it for the melon and pumpkin farms. And I'm going to show you one, and the other one's going to be done exactly the same way. So we're going to go ahead and place 2 blocks on the end of our waters, and we're going to break 2 blocks off the end here. Okay, we've gone ahead and broken 2 blocks off the end. Now we're going to pick our direction, so I'm going to go this way down. So my first turn is going to be here. In order to make that turn successfully, I'm going to use whatever block I want. I'm going to use stone slabs. And we're going to go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to go down and up. Easy peasy, just like that. Down, up. We're going to go ahead and connect the other ones on the other side. And then we're going to come back this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So in this case, you're going to go up the slabs, down the wall, up the slabs, down the wall, all the way across. And we're going to do that all the way down. And on both sides. And then at the end, remember we're going up the slabs and then down the wall. So we're going to go ahead and place a teleport pad right here. I like to make sure that the block coming onto the teleport pad is a regular block, just because they tend to glitch out a little bit, and I want to make sure that it's got walls just in case it glitches out at all. So this is going to be pump farm end. I'm going to do the same thing right above here, and I'm going to make sure to have a start at the very beginning on that far corner. All right, guys, that's it for this first part of the super farm. So that'll give you an infinite sugarcane farm and then some, an infinite pumpkin farm, and an infinite melon farm, all of which are semi-AFK. And in case you're wondering, the speeds to be able to use this farm effectively are for cane is 327, and for pumpkin and melon 244. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and have a great day. Bye.